All right, so how do you stay disciplined uh, in order to succeed in entrepreneurship? How do you say self-discipline? Self-discipline is really key to success. A lot of times we're conditioned as we grow up to expect to trade our time for money, to trade our time for reward. Just think about like from your earlier stages of going to school, you know, if you do well in kindergarten, you get milk time. If you go through high school and you do well, you get a diploma. You're allowed to progress, right? You're being rewarded for doing something well. Same with college, right? It's kind of a continuous thing. Like we're continuously rewarded, and then when you go work for someone, you're rewarded for your hours. Like you're trading your time, you're receiving a paycheck. You're getting accustomed to trading, you know, this need for like giving and receiving constantly. In entrepreneurship, however, is the complete opposite. You sometimes give a lot and you receive absolutely nothing. Like think about how much you give and how little you receive. A lot of times this is why people give up, because you're forced to go on 5 years sometimes, working, 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 and never receiving, sometimes not even seeing progress. And while people would say, well, you're not progressing fast enough, so you should give up, you and only you know what you want to be doing and how much belief you have behind what you're working on. So you make that choice to consciously not give up and kind of go on. So being disciplined ultimately allows you to survive that kind of gap, or because you're not going to receive anything back. And one of the things I always say is you have to discipline your mind, your heart, and your body all together. Like it can't be something where you're one or the other. Discipline is an all-around lifestyle, right? It's being disciplined enough to go to the gym every day. It's being disciplined enough to eat properly. It's being disciplined enough to do things that you don't necessarily love doing, just to get to the things you love doing. So even if it's going to work so that you can collect the paycheck, so you can put that into a business, all of these things come as part of the major equation of succeeding in life, is to have the discipline across all channels. I personally highly recommend for people I have this challenge that I've kind of renewed for the year, and it's part of this article, but the challenge is quite simple, and the challenge as it stood before is the one I'm going to talk about. It was to wake up every day and to run 1 mile, do 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups every single day for 90 days in a row with no excuses as to anything. So in other words, no matter what happens between today, tomorrow, the next week, the next month, you have to go 90 full days without stopping. And you have to run 1 mile, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. If you can't do 100 push-ups, do 20 at a time, but do them consecutively till you get 100. Do them on your knees until you can progress to do them on your hands. Just don't give yourself an excuse for why you don't do it. If you're in bad shape, you'll have to get to shape to even start the challenge. If you're not able to run a mile, you'll have to walk a mile until you can actually run a mile. The idea is to progress without getting a reward back. And you'll actually see that many times within your quest for 90 days of just remaining healthier, which seems to have nothing to do with entrepreneurship, but it has everything to do, because what you're doing is you're training your mind to actually be able to survive doing something you don't love for 90 days. Now, why is it that you don't love it? Many people say, well, I'm in fitness, so I love working out and everything. But I'm not telling you to work out for 90 days. I'm telling you to actually only work out this way. Like, in other words, you can go to the gym, you can continue to do the things you're doing, but every single day, you can't substitute the 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and the 1 mile run. So in other words, if you want to run 2 miles later at the gym, you want to bench press, you do that, but you still have to accomplish this task. This is training your mind to stay the course despite not receiving a reward. It's training your mind to not use an excuse why it cannot happen. If you live somewhere where it's snowing, doesn't matter. You go outside and you run. If you're living somewhere where it's raining, you put on an umbrella or you put on a little poncho, you go out running. You get it done no matter what. You don't have a gym near you where you can do 100 push-ups, do them in your bathroom. It doesn't matter. Just don't use an excuse why you can't do it, and don't break away from the idea of breaking the 90 days. So make it happen, and this year you'll see that you'll be in a better physical shape and you'll be in a better state mentally to be able to take on entrepreneurship and stay disciplined. How to actually grow within the system, right? Not when you're an entrepreneur. I know if you're an entrepreneur, you probably don't want to listen to this because this has nothing to do with you. This is more, it has everything to do with someone who works.